Hey, everybody, and welcome to Creative Retail Talk. I'm Rich Kizer and Georganne Bender. Welcome, guys, and thank you so much for being here. Hi, this is Clint O'Rear. Thanks for joining the Creative Retail Talks podcast today, where we will be discussing the latest in life, business, and retail. All right, let me shift gears a little bit. I love hearing about your journey. There's a question I like to ask people, whether it's on this podcast or if I'm talking to someone in a coffee shop or just sitting over dinner, and it's the fork in the road moment. So tell me, in your journey, and I'll let you guys decide who goes first on this, but I'd love to hear from each of you individually or together or both. What has been maybe a fork in the road moment on your journey?
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always kind of, known what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go, and speaking is our first love, and we love to do that. And trade shows are gone. They're coming back, but they're not going to come back probably until the middle of 2021.
Yeah.
And then cautiously, because convention centers are the last things to open in the last phase of every state. So because we're primarily speakers, we don't have that avenue anymore.
Right.
So we immediately put our heads together. We immediately started doing our podcast, our Retail Adventures podcast we do with Jason Bell.
Mm-hmm.
We started retailing during and after COVID-19 webinars.
Mm-hmm.
We started doing coaching calls, and we dove into everything that you need to do a proper virtual keynote and a virtual webinar or seminar.
Yeah.
And we have now it's almost September. We started in March. We have turned that corner now where we're getting lots of calls for presentations virtually, and we're getting calls again from retailers who are sort of mentally over the hump of what's going to happen with COVID, and now they're ready to start relaying their stores again.
Yeah.
We have had to look straight in the eyes of, your playground is gone.
Yeah.
What do you do now?
It's kind of sad, but the good thing about it is that's nothing good about it. But what I'm saying is the good thing about it is that we've got the gears in our head because we've been exposed to so much in retail.
Yeah.
You know what? And I was thinking this has been obviously a watershed time and a gate swinger. But the other gate swinger really that adds a lot of impact in my life when we work with retailers is when I heard the expression from a retailer one day who said, Sam who? Sam Walton? Well, I'll just keep my store right here and we'll see what he has got in his back pocket a mile away from my store. And I said, you're a fool if you feel like that.
Yeah.
You got to start changing now. So I think that the big box coming into the landscape of America was really one of those forks in the roads that I had to fight with a lot myself, because I didn't really want to try to analyze what are they doing, how are they doing it. And the most important reason for doing that was so I can say to the people over here in the downtown areas, here's what we've got to do individually and together. So, I think that what we have is markets in our world here in the United States that are live organisms.
Yep.
And those organisms are changing every month. And if we're not changing with them, 3 months, now we're 90 days behind everybody else.
Yeah.
It's going to do it. So I think those are some watershed moments for me.
Yeah, I think that right now, though, that was a watershed moment. But I think right now, up until now, we've been able to really roll with the punches, and we have been with this too, but this affected us in a way that, at least me, Rich, affected me in a way that, you think that you can control your business. You think that you're in control of your life, and at some point in time, you're not anymore. Somebody has taken that away from you. This is our 30th year on April 17th. It was the first, was the 30th anniversary of when we started our company.
Wow.
And we thought, we have this fabulous farmhouse in St. Charles, Illinois that's haunted. And we love it. We thought we're going to open the doors. We're going to have a
Fire you
big party.
up. Okay, that's we said.
We're going to have a big party, and everybody's going to come in 30 years and a whole year of celebration. And yeah, that
our favorite band in Las Vegas that plays, you know, the hits of the disco, all the disco.
Yeah.
Have them come out and close a huge lot behind our place. And
yeah.
didn't happen.
Didn't happen, did it? Yeah.
Didn't happen.
What a year.
Yeah.
Well, and so just to provide a little context for the listeners, we're recording this in fall of 2020, and you may be listening to this in 2021 or 2025, or who knows when you'll find this. But yeah, boy, 2020 has been a year, hasn't it? And I know, you know, for us, back when a lot of the retailers that we sell to had to close their stores. You know, with an unknown of how long is this going to last? When are they going to be able to reopen? When are the suppliers that we work with going to be able to ship? A lot of them had to close their facilities. So it has been one heck of a year for sure. But I tell you what I love. We've done this in our company. We've seen our clients do this. And I love the story that you're telling right now is it has really forced all of us to pivot and rethink who we are and what we do and how we do it. And I really think coming out of this, it's going to make all of us better in many ways.
Yeah.
And it forced us to really just rethink our businesses very quickly. And I have so much admiration for people that are doing what you guys are doing and just rethinking your entire business model overnight to adapt.
Hang it out.
what's that expression, George, that we were talking about? We said, well, it was the new, said this is the new normal. There's no new.
No, it's not.
The now normal.
The now normal.
There's no now normal. There's no normal. Nothing normal.
Right now, it's the now normal, and you mentioned the word pivot, and we're going to be pivoting for a very long time. We talked about the big boxes a little bit. We're talking about independent retailers. We love working with independent retailers. And here's what's happening. When you go in fall of 2020, you go into a big box retailer, and there are a lot of empty aisles. And they'll have signs on the shelves that say, new merchandise coming soon, watch out. Or I've been in stores where they push the gondolas together, and then this whole valley is empty and you can't get at it anyway because they're, together. Or there's giant aisles and not a lot of product. The independents have fared much better.
Good.
Because they have smaller footprints. They have a closer relationship with their vendors. They're not waiting for boatloads of things to come from overseas. They have managed to set their sales floor, run their stores, still run events, whether in person or virtually. There's killing it on Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm.
So when you compare what's happening in an indie retailer compared to a big box right now, the indies are winning.
Yeah.
And take out of that equation Target and Walmart and grocery stores.
Right.
But
yeah, they never slowed down. And the dollar stores, by the way.
Dollar stores.
None of them ever slowed down. But
I love Home Goods. I love going to Home Goods, and I've been trying to buy pillows for my living room. And I go there one day and the shelves are empty. I go there the next day. You almost have like a market now. You almost have to go every day.
Yeah.
Because things are selling out as quickly as they get them because there's limited supply of so many things.
Yeah. Well, and it's been really fun from my seat in the creative industry where we're able to see multiple retailers and multiple suppliers. When stores reopened in May, the industry just took off. And everyone, retail, supplier, everybody is running up double digits. With brick and mortar as the base. And I want to talk about that in just a minute. So, with all the talk of everyone going online, well, when brick and mortar reopened in May, sales soared. So that's been fun to see for the industry. I've talked to a lot of people in the industry, including independent retailers and big box and suppliers. And it's probably for the creative industry, it's probably been one of the strongest periods we've ever seen in years. Which is again so crazy that it's in the middle of 2020. But that is one thing I do love about the creative industry, providing vehicles for people to deal with anxiousness and trauma, and even to make things to go sell, if they've lost their job, to make things to go sell and earn an income. So it's been really neat to see that trend. So let's talk about changes to retail and all this. So the Amazon effect people have been talking about for the last several years. And the question's been out there in headlines and in trade publications, what's going to happen to brick and mortar retail. I heard your podcast just a few weeks ago where you guys talked about this. So I'd love to hear your perspective on what do you think is changing in retail and what's happening with brick and mortar versus online.
Now, I know Georganne wants to say something. Okay, so I'm going to introduce kind of what she's I'm not going to introduce what you say. I'm just going to make a statement. All of this virus impact that it's had on retail, someone asked me, they said, well, so what is it like in business? I said, here's what it's like in business, in the brick and mortar, entrepreneurs. It's your birthday and I gave you a birthday cake, and even though now you can do business, I haven't put icing on the cake. I've taken the icing off. And so what's happening now, I think, is the icing is going back on with the smart retailers, because the customers had the same birthday cake delivered, no icing. But now they're starting to get that, which is the excitement and happiness of what I can find and do and, receive from these stores. George. So right. I'm saying
let's go back. Let's go back to 2019. We are at the Global Shop trade show in Chicago. Global Shop is the largest store planning and design trade show in the country, in the world, international.
Wow.
And we're at a panel discussion. And the panel discussion is led by a woman named Melissa Gonzalez, who's known for pop-ups and the Lioness Group. And there are 4 retailers sitting next to her. And she says, now each one of those retailers sitting next to her are online retailers who have recently opened brick and mortar stores. Once a online retailer hits a certain plateau, it's too expensive for them to get more customers. They cannot make money unless they open a brick and mortar store.
Interesting.
Which is why you're seeing Warby Parker and Away Luggage and a bunch of different places have opened up stores. That being said, everybody was gleefully losing their minds when the pandemic started. This is the end of brick and mortar. Online is going to kill it. No, it's not. I mean, you read the headlines, malls, A malls and B level malls have right now almost the same amount of traffic that they had before the pandemic. And we're still in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We couldn't wait as customers to get out of our houses and go to a store.
We wanted the icing.
Yeah.
We wanted the icing. So there are the retailers who did a great job and who are doing a great job. I'm just going to talk about in our industry. They immediately got in contact with Shopify or BigCommerce or Woo or one of those companies and comments sold and connected with them so that they could sell via social media, and they started doing Facebook Live. The smart ones went on a minimum of once a week. The brilliant ones went on every day. We know retailers in this industry who are making more money right now selling on social media than they did when their stores were open a year ago.
Wow.
So, but there's a combination. They buy it online, they come to the store to pick it up. So, online retailing is going to be there, but you're still, and this is me, Rich, you can agree with me or not. I still need to touch and feel things. I need to try on clothing. I can't, if you're a perfect size 0 and you look like the models online, then go for it. But the rest of us aren't. I still want to see. I want to see the chair. I want to sit in the chair. I want to test the bed. I want to do all those things. And a lot of customers are like me. And the other thing too is that shopping is social, and that's never going away.
Yeah.
You know, in our industry, we have retailers whose customers are all over them. Please start your classes. Please start your classes. It's not safe yet, but people are just dying to get back in to brick and mortar. So
what do they say in the restaurant industry, George? They say it's the circuses. It's the circuses that's a great place because the circuses. Steak is a steak. The way it's presented and talked about.
Presentation, right? The experience.
That's
The experience.
That's the icing.
Yeah.
I love that compare. I love the icing.
That's good, Kizer. You made that up today?
Analogy.
Did you make that up today?
No, I've been telling people about it for about 3 weeks. Maybe longer than that. I said, I feel like, listen, I can't get sports. I can't go to them. I can't get them now. And I said that one day to a bunch of guys I was with. I said, it's like having a cake with no icing. And everyone looked at me and their jaws dropped. And they said, that is wisdom. I said, stick around.
Well, the problem is, Rich, now I'm getting really hungry for a piece of cake.
Well, you can tell where my mind was, right? And it's not good. But I always give a food example. Circus.
That was a not so subliminal. That was a bliminal, message for me to make him a cake.
That's right.
He makes the best.
Is that right?
Oh my God.
Wow. So Georganne, to your point, Warby Parker, so the glasses I have on right now, I went online and I was like, I can't choose these online. So about 15 minutes from our house, there's a new Warby Parker store. Went to the store, picked out my glasses, was very happy. And I was sad that it was going to take like 2 or 3 weeks for me to but I was like, I'm not going to pick these out online. I'm going to go to the store where I can see it, feel it, touch it.
No, it's really, but let me say something first, Rich. My husband said to me yesterday, I need new glasses. I haven't gotten glasses in a year and I can tell. So I said, I have to go get new glasses. And he goes, well, have you heard about this Warby Parker thing? I'm like, yeah, I've heard about it, but my glasses are me. They're on my face every single day.
Yep.
And they have to feel a certain, like these glasses, I can't wear them all day. If I'm laying around watching TV, I need my comfortable glasses to do that, right?
Yeah.
I can't just order something and hope that it's going to fit my face. And I'm terrified that they'll, get the perspective off when they measure the center of your eyes, and then I'll walk around like I'm drunk. You know what I mean? So I was gonna check out a Warby Parker store.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. I'm not that evolved.
So now we're gonna have to, get them to kick in some sponsorship here, right?
That's right.
So, all right, I'm gonna end with one last question for you guys. I could talk to you all day long, but I want to be respectful of your time. So going back to this idea of that you guys stalk the consumer, right? Let's talk about the consumer for a minute. How is the consumer changing through the COVID pandemic, through quarantines, through all the changes in society right now? How do you see the consumer changing today and moving forward from all of this?
Every retailer that's going to be a player down the road is putting an A game together and presenting it. But there are some people that are not focused like that. And they're the ones that are going to have a hard time down on the trail, that the road is not going to be paved much further than they are. It's a very dangerous place to be. So I'd say that most retailers don't take the time off. Now, I don't mean don't take the time off, stay home. What I'm saying is don't say, well, we need to change. If you need to change it, do it now.
Yep.
I don't think any prisoners will be taken in this one. I think that people are giving new love affairs because the old love affairs have gone astray. Not because I don't love you anymore. It's just that we've been separated too long. And there's too many messages coming my way, getting in my head.
Yeah.
Interesting choice of words, Kizer.
I'm seeing things. I create pictures and I talk.
Customers have always held the cards, but since COVID, they hold every single card. And it's retailers, like Rich just said, retailers now have to do whatever it takes to understand their customers, talk to them more, engage them, and figure out ways to keep them close. Because we have had the world open up to us now. Everything we want is available online. There's BOPUS, buy online, pick up in store. There is curbside service. There's personal shoppers. There's the shopping world is at our fingertips as consumers, and where we choose to go is going to be contingent upon what those retailers do to attract us. And the other thing that Rich and I talk about a lot in every message we talk with retailers is that, so right now we're in fall of 2020, and as you said, Clint, we don't know when people are going to hear this, but right now we're still sanitizing. We're still counting the number of people who come into our stores. There still needs to be sanitation stations set up around the store. People who come into your store need to wear masks, whether it's a mandate in your store, in your state or not. Everyone who works in the store should wear one, and customers should be required to wear them too, because people are going to look back, employees and customers are going to look back on, how did that store protect me?
Yep.
What did they do for my safety? I went into that store and everybody had their mask below their noses. I'm not going back. They're talking about it on social medias, and the care that we take right now with customers and the services we offer them and the conveniences are going to pay in spades moving forward, or they're going to leave you behind if you don't rise to the occasion.
And they're going to change your paradigm. I mean, if you're a retailer, your paradigm, the way you do business is going to change. It's going to change for the better. I mean, it's going to teach you a lesson. I mean, if I'm talking to sounds like I'm talking to retailers now. I am. It's going to teach you lessons that you can do far beyond what you ever thought you could do. And you can think faster on your feet than you ever thought you could. And you have to.
Yep.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. Well, let me wrap up by letting people know, if they wanted the great wisdom of Kizer and Bender, how do they get that wisdom? So first of all, who would you say your target clients are? And then for those people that could use your services, use your wisdom, how do they get a hold of you? And we'll obviously put all this in the show notes as well.
Okay. Our clients are retailers, manufacturers, businesses, anyone who has customers. If you want to understand how your customers think and what they want, we can help you with that. If you're a retailer, we offer store makeover services. And I booked 2 yesterday, Rich, so that's good. It's coming back.
Congrats.
Yeah. So store makeovers, store remodels, we do a lot with that. We do sales training, retail sales training. And if you want to get in hold of us, our @ on social media is @Kizer and Bender. Our website is kizerandbender.com. You can get to our Retail Adventures blog and our podcast through our website, or you can find us on Apple. We're pretty easy to find.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So last words. Rich, I'm going to start with you because you've been quiet for a minute. Last words for the audience, to retailers and suppliers out there. What would you tell them?
You know what? I think that what I really would say is what we have to remember is the change is driven by everybody that walks into our business or comes to my booth to buy something. That change is driven there. If I'm a retailer at a show or meeting someone who's going to tell me how to make more money by carrying their line or what I should do, tell me specifically what successful stores are doing with that line that I've never done. Surprise me about the information and show me you really care. On the other side, with the stores, what I really, really believe is that 2 weeks is way too long to wait to change again. And the most important part is, and we say this is because we really know customers and we listen to them. We stop them on the streets and hand out our business cards. Say, we're not doing a thing for the city or for any retail. We just study customers. Can we ask you one question? Because everybody will give you one. And so can we ask you one question? We accumulate all the answers, but we really know what's in their gut. And I think that knowing that is critically important. And someone said to me, I said, Rich, when this is all said and done for you. And I said, what do you mean? I said, well, it's all done. You died.
Ew.
I really think this is a compliment. He said, what do you want to be said? And thanks. I'm not here to, I'm supposed to be talking to you, but I know that. And the guy and his wife looked at me and she goes, I'll tell you what he wants to be said. he wants to be said, he helped a lot of people because he found the answers for them. And George, you're the same way. I mean, if there is anything that we do, we put more pressure on ourselves to say what's fresh, what's new, and how can we surprise people with answers that they'll go, thank God I'm talking to you. How, George, am I telling you the truth or not?
No, you are.
That's a lot. I mean, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves.
We always offer retailers, you know, in this industry we have forever. If you need help with anything, call us. You know, we'll always have a conversation with you. This would be my final thought. This sucks.
Yep.
But you're better than this pandemic. And you run a great store or a great business. We run a great business, and we will get through this, and we will come out the other side stronger and braver and better. And some things we may have lost along the way, and we will have gained other things, but at the end of the day, we will get through it. And if you need to cry and scream and throw things and kick the wall and do it, and then move on to whatever's next, because
we'll give you a great deal and a great deal more. That's what we do.
This, you know, Rich, this was not a sales.
No, I just wanted to do that.
Just
with that, we're gonna have to do video because they didn't see your boxing moves there, Rich.
You're so lame. You have to turn everything into a bumper sticker.
People remember stories.
Oh, what do you think I was doing? You know what?
You told a great story.
It is tough right now, and we are going to get through it, and we will be better for it, and we'll laugh at it at Creativation in 3 years.
Yeah.
But right now, we're just doing our best to make it better. Yeah.
Well, I love what you guys are doing with your pivot, and I joke with my team that pivot is the year of the word of 2020. I hear a lot of people using that. I think we're all doing it, living it, experiencing it. So my final thought's got to be put icing on your cake, right?
Yeah.
I love that analogy. So, well, the Kizer and Bender, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and spending a little time talking retail and customers and supply and all those great things that we're a part of. And it's an honor to call you guys friends and have you be a part of the podcast today. And I wish you the best on your continued journey as you continue to evolve.
Thank you for having.
Thank you, Clint. This was fun.
Stop today at our place. Thank you for coming.
All right. Y'all take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Clint. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation on the Creative Retail Talks podcast today. Be sure to visit our show notes page for more information on today's show. And if you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, reach out to me at clint@creativeretailtalks.com. Creative Retail Talks is all one word. That email address will also be in the show notes. Hope you have a great day.